conference room was silent. My investor looked at me across the table. We're pulling out. Effective immediately. 3 years of work. Gone. I didn't beg. Didn't argue. I just made one decision right there that changed everything. The contract was already printed. 2 copies. Both and signed. Sitting in the middle of the table. Gerald Anderson. Venture capitalist. 10 years in the industry. Portfolio worth $80 million. He'd been my lead investor for 6 months. Committed. Enthusiastic. Ready to fund the entire Series A. $3.2 million. That morning, I thought we were signing. Instead, I was watching him pack his briefcase. I don't understand, I said. The market shifted. Our partners are nervous. We talked about this 2 days ago. You said everything looked good. It did. Then, what changed? He zipped the briefcase. Looked at me. Clayton got funded. Same space. Same model. Bigger team. Clayton, my competitor. They're not the same model. Close enough. Our partners think the space is saturated. It's not saturated. Clayton's approach is fundamentally different. Different enough to justify 2 investments? No. I stayed seated. Watching him. You've been committed for 6 months. I know. We've been building based on your timeline. I'm aware. So what am I supposed to do? He paused at the door. Find another investor. Or bootstrap it. I don't know. But we're out. Gerald. I'm sorry. This is business. He left. I sat there, staring at the unsigned contracts. My phone buzzed. My co-founder David. How'd it go? I didn't answer right away. Then typed. They pulled out. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. What? Anderson backed out. Says the market shifted. That's bullshit. I know. What do we do? I don't know yet. We're running out of runway. I know. Ben, we have maybe 3 months. For if we cut salaries. I'll figure it out. How? I don't know. But I will. I put the phone down. Looked at the contracts again. 3.2 million. Gone. We'd spent 6 months preparing for this. Building the pitch. Refining the product. Getting customer commitments. Everything had been contingent on this funding. Now it was gone. I called our team meeting for that afternoon. 6 people. Engineers mostly. 1 designer. 1 ops person. They were all working out of a shared office space downtown. Cheap rent. No frills. I walked in at 4. Everyone looked up. Expectant. We need to talk, I said. David was already there. He looked grim. The team gathered in the corner. Our designated meeting area. Just some chairs in a circle. What's going on? Sarah asked. Lead engineer. Anderson pulled out. Silence. What do you mean pulled out? Marcus said. Junior engineer. He's not funding us. Says the market shifted. But we were supposed to sign today, Sarah said. I know. So what happens now? We regroup. Regroup how? Marcus asked. We're almost out of money. I'm aware. Do we have other investors lined up? Not immediately. How long can we last? Sarah asked. David spoke up. 3 months. Maybe 4. 4 months to find $3 million. Marcus said. That's impossible. It's not impossible. Ben, be realistic. Anderson was our best shot. If he's out, who else is going to fund us? Someone will. Based on what? We're 6 people with a half-built product and no revenue. We have customer commitments. Commitments aren't revenue. They will be. Once we launch. Which requires money we don't have. Sarah cut in. What's the plan? I looked at her. Then at the rest of the team. The plan is we keep building. We stay focused. We launch with what we have. And funding. Marcus pressed. I'll handle it. How? I don't know yet. But I will. The room was tense. Finally, Sarah nodded. Okay. I trust you. Marcus looked less convinced. I need to know we're not wasting our time. You're not. How do you know? Because I've already put 3 years into this. I'm not giving up now. He didn't respond. The meeting ended. People went back to their desks. Quieter than before. David pulled me aside. What's the actual plan? I don't have one yet. Ben, I said I don't have one yet. But I will. We can't afford to wait. I know. So what are you thinking? I looked at him. I'm thinking we bootstrap. Bootstrap $3 million? No. Bootstrap what we need. Launch lean. Generate revenue. Then raise later. That's a huge risk. Everything's a risk. But this is. I know what it is. But it's our only option. He didn't look happy. But he nodded. That night, I went home and opened a spreadsheet. Our burn rate was $45,000 a month. Salaries mostly. Some infrastructure. Office space. We had 130,000 in the bank. That gave us less than 3 months. Unless I could cut costs. I looked at my own salary. I was paying myself 4,000 a month. Barely enough to cover rent and food. If I cut it to zero, that saved 12,000 over 3 months. David was taking the same. If he cut 2, that was 24,000 total. That extended our runway by half a month. Not enough. I looked at the rest of the team. Sarah was making 6,000. Marcus 5. The others similar. If everyone took a 50% cut, we'd save an additional 60,000 over 3 months. That gave us maybe 5 months total. Still not enough to launch and generate meaningful revenue. Unless we moved faster. I looked at our development timeline. We'd planned to launch in 4 months. Full feature set. Polished UI. Everything perfect. What if we launched in 2 months? Minimum viable product. Core features only. Nothing fancy. Could we do it? I texted Sarah. Can you launch core features in 2 months? Bare minimum. She responded 10 minutes later. Maybe. What's the scope? User accounts. Basic dashboard. Core functionality. That's it. No analytics? Not yet. No integrations? 1. The most important one. It'll be rough. I know. Can you do it? Long pause. Then, yeah, we can do it. Good. Let's do it. The next morning, I called another meeting. Everyone looked exhausted. Like they hadn't slept. I probably looked the same. New plan, I said. They waited. We're launching in 2 months. Minimum viable product. Core features only. Sarah nodded. She'd expected this. Marcus looked skeptical. That's aggressive. It is. But it's necessary. Why 2 months? Because that's how long our money lasts. I thought we had 3 months. We do. If nothing changes. But we need buffer. For marketing. For hosting. For unexpected costs. So we're cutting the timeline by half. Yes. That's insane. It's necessary, I repeated. What about salaries? Someone asked. Here it was. Everyone's taking a 50% cut, including me and David. We're both going to zero. The room went silent. For how long? Sarah asked. Until we launch and start generating revenue. And if we don't generate revenue, then we fold. But at least we tried. Marcus stood up. I can't take a 50% cut. I have rent. Bills. I'm barely surviving as it is. I know. And if you need to leave, I understand. But this is where we are. This is insane. I know. He looked around. At the others. At me. Then sat back down. Fine. But if we're not generating revenue in 3 months, I'm out. Fair. No one else objected. We got to work. The next 8 weeks were brutal. Everyone worked 12, 14-hour days. Weekends. No breaks. Sarah led the engineering push. Stripped down features. Cut unnecessary code. Focused on core functionality. David handled operations. Customer outreach. Partnership discussions. I focused on fundraising. Reached out to every investor I knew. Every contact I had. Most ignored me. Some responded politely. Said they'd pass. A few took meetings. Then passed anyway. Too early. Not enough traction. Come back when you have revenue. Revenue. Everything came back to revenue. We needed to launch. 6 weeks in, we hit our first major problem. Infrastructure costs. We'd budgeted for basic hosting. But our architecture required more. Better servers. More bandwidth. The bill came to $15,000. Up front. We didn't have $15,000 to spare. I called David. We need to find $15,000. Where? I don't know. But we need it. Ben, we're already running on fumes. I know. But without infrastructure, we can't launch. Silence. What if we go with a cheaper provider? He asked. I looked. Cheaper means slower. Slower means worse user experience. Worse experience means no customers. So we're stuck. Not stuck. Just constrained. That's the same thing. No. Stuck means no options. Constrained means we have to get creative. I hung up. Looked at my personal bank account. I had $18,000. My emergency fund. Everything I'd saved over the past 5 years. If I used $15,000 for infrastructure, I'd have $3,000 left. $3,000 to live on until we launched and started generating revenue. That was maybe 2 months. If I was careful, I stared at the number, then transferred the $15,000 to the company account. Sent the invoice payment. Didn't tell anyone. 2 weeks later, we launched. Bare bones. Rough around the edges. But functional. We had 4 customers lined up. Early adopters. People who'd committed based on our pitch. They signed up. started using the product, and they paid $500 a month each, $2,000 total. It wasn't much, but it was something. The first month, we made $8,000. For more customers signed on. The second month, 15,000. Word was spreading. The third month, 32,000. We were growing. Not fast, but steady. I stopped looking for investors. We didn't need them anymore. By month 6, we were at 90,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Enough to cover our burn rate. Enough to start paying people again. I called a meeting. We're profitable, I said. The room erupted. Sarah hugged Marcus. David looked relieved. Salaries go back to full. Effective immediately. More celebration. And there's more. I continued. We're going to start hiring. Hiring, Marcus said. We need more engineers. More support. We're growing faster than we can handle. Where's the money coming from? Revenue. We're profitable now. We can afford it. Someone started clapping. Then everyone joined. I let them celebrate. But I was already thinking ahead. Month 12, we hit 200,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Month 18, 500,000. We moved into a real office. Hired 10 more people. Investors started reaching out again. We heard you're doing well. We'd love to discuss funding. What's your current valuation? I ignored most of them. Except one. Gerald Anderson. He called on a Tuesday. Ben. It's Gerald. I didn't respond right away. I heard you launched. We did. And you're profitable. We are. That's impressive. I wanted to reach out. See if you'd be interested in reconnecting. Reconnecting about what? Funding. We have partners who are very interested in your space. I remember. 6 months ago, they thought the space was saturated. Silence. Market conditions change. They do. So are you interested? In funding? Yes. No. No. We're not raising right now. But you could scale faster with investment. We're scaling fine. Ben, I know we didn't part on the best terms. But this is a good opportunity. For who? For everyone. You'd have capital. We'd have equity. Win-win. We don't need capital. You could need it later. Maybe. But not from you. Another silence. Is this about what happened? This is about what's best for my company. And you don't think we're what's best? I think you had your chance. And you walked away. I explained. You did. And I listened. And now I'm saying no. I hung up. David looked at me from across the room. Was that Anderson? Yeah. What did he want? To invest. And I said no. David smiled. Good. Month 24, we hit 1.2 million in monthly recurring revenue. 14.4 million annually. We were growing 40% year over year. Profitable. Sustainable. No debt. I got an email from a reporter at TechCrunch. They wanted to do a story. Rising startup. Bootstrap success. All of it. I agreed. The interview happened over video call. So you started this company 3 years ago? The reporter asked. Yes. And you never raised funding? We tried. Initially. But our lead investor backed out. Can you talk about that? Sure. We were ready to close a Series A. 3.2 million. The investor pulled out at the last minute. Said the market shifted. How did you respond? I stayed calm. That's it. That's it. Then we launched without them. And now you're at 14 million in revenue. Yes. That's remarkable. What would you say to that investor now? I paused. I'd say thank you. Thank you. Yes. Because if they'd funded us, we would have spent that money. Scaled too fast. Probably made mistakes. Instead, we had to be disciplined. Intentional. Every dollar mattered. That made us better. So you're grateful they backed out? In hindsight, yes. Have they reached out since? They have. And I said no. Why? Because I don't need investors who only believe in me when I'm already succeeding. The article went live 2 days later. It went viral. Within 24 hours, we had 300 new signups. Within a week, we'd added 500,000 in annual recurring revenue. The attention kept growing. More articles, podcast interviews, conference invitations. Everyone wanted to know how we'd done it. How we'd gone from near collapse to multi-million-dollar success. I told them the same thing every time. We stayed focused. We didn't give up. And we built something people actually wanted. Month 30, we crossed 2 million in monthly recurring revenue. 24 million annually. Our valuation was somewhere north of 100 million. Maybe more. I got another call. Gerald Anderson again. Ben, I read the TechCrunch article. And I wanted to congratulate you. What you've built is incredible. Thank you. I also wanted to apologize. For backing out. For not believing in you when it mattered. I didn't respond. You were right, he continued. I had my chance. And I blew it. You did what you thought was best. I did what was safe. That's different. Maybe. For what it's worth, I'm proud of what you accomplished. And I'm sorry I wasn't part of it. I appreciate that. Is there any chance? No. You don't even know what I was going to ask. I do. And the answer is no. He laughed. Quiet. Resigned. Fair enough. Take care, Gerald. You too. I hung up. David walked over. Him again? Yeah. What did he want this time? To apologize. Did you accept? I did. But you're still not taking his money. Never. David smiled. Good call. Month 36, we hit $3 million in monthly recurring revenue. $36 million annually. We'd grown faster than anyone expected, including me. We had a team of 60 people. Real office. Benefits. Everything we'd dreamed about. And we'd done it without Gerald Anderson. Without any investors at all. I called one final team meeting. Everyone gathered. Bigger group now. New faces. 3 years ago, I started, we almost died. Our investor backed out. We had no money. No plan. Just determination. People nodded. The early team members knew this story. Today, we're at $36 million in revenue. We're profitable. We're growing. And we did it ourselves. Applause. I wanted to take a moment to thank the people who stayed. Who believed. Who worked 12-hour days for half pay because they trusted this would work. I looked at Sarah. At Marcus. At David. You built this. Not me. You. More applause. And I wanted to say one more thing. We're not raising funding. Not now. Not ever. This company belongs to us. To the people who built it. And that's how it's going to stay. The room erupted. People cheered. Some cried. David walked over. Hell of a speech. I meant it. I know. We stood there, watching the team celebrate. We did it, he said. We did. Anderson must be kicking himself. Probably. You think he regrets it? I thought about it. I don't know. But I don't. Regret what? Him backing out. If he hadn't, we wouldn't be here. We'd be somewhere else. Probably worse. David nodded. You really think that? I do. The best thing that ever happened to this company was being told no. Because it forced us to prove everyone wrong. Exactly. We watched the team for a moment longer. Then David said, what's next? What do you mean? We're at 36 million. We're profitable. We're stable. What's the next goal? I smiled. 50 million. When? End of next year. That's aggressive. So it was launching in 2 months. He laughed. Fair point. 6 months later, we hit 40 million. I got one more email. From Gerald Anderson. The subject line read, congratulations. I opened it. Ben, I saw you hit 40M. Incredible achievement. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I wanted you to know you were right. About everything. I should have believed. I should have stayed. I didn't. That's on me. I hope you continue to succeed. You've built something special. Gerald. I read it twice. Then closed it. Didn't respond. Because there was nothing left to say. My investor backed out last minute. I stayed calm. Then I built something he'd never be part of. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I didn't need him. I never did.